Welcome to the Pastor Chira Show. I'm Pastor Chira, and today we launch. We launch into new mindset. We launch into new territory. We launch into new relationships. Are you ready to launch out? Come on and launch out with me as we go into this conversation on today. And today I'm excited about this conversation because it's one that I've been leading up to, and we've been talking about having this conversation on the show because it is so important that we highlight our young people. And we talk about a lot of things. We go into a lot of different subjects, but one of the subjects that we have really been looking at this year is our finances. And we talk a lot about finances from a grown people perspective, but what about from a little people's perspective? And so today I wanted to dig in a little bit with someone who is really teaching finances to his little people. And they're not so little. But I want to introduce them. I want to bring them on. And this is none other than Chris Chase and his son, Brandon. Hi, Chris. Hi, Brandon.
Hey, how you doing, Chira?
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Doing well.
Good. I'm so glad. I'm so excited to have you on the show on today. I'm excited about the conversations that we've had and that you're willing to share the things that you do and the things that you've done. But before we dig into that, can you just introduce yourself to the viewing audience? Brandon, what do you have to say to the viewing audience on today?
Hi, I'm Brandon.
You're Brandon?
Mhm.
Okay. Chris?
I'm Chris Chase. I'm Brandon's father.
Okay. All right. And Chris and Brandon, you guys are here, and we're going to talk a little bit about what your shirt says, because you are a crypto daddy. Yes, you are a crypto daddy. But Brandon, tell me, what do you know about crypto? Because I don't know anything. So can you tell me about crypto?
Well, my dad told me that crypto is it's not a company that you put money in. It's like I forget, like I think he said it's something that helps people or something like that. And
Really?
he gets a lot of stuff about crypto. He watches YouTube videos about crypto. Um, he has this card, and every time he buys something, it gives him like a certain amount of money, depending on how much he spent. It gives him that much back in crypto, and
Wow.
my dad, he has different accounts because he said he has this account that nobody can hack.
Listen, and that's what we want. We want stuff that nobody can hack, don't we?
Hmm.
Because that means it's all ours. So, what do you do with your money? Like, do you invest money too? Do you know what investing and stuff is?
Yeah, but I'm not old enough to invest in crypto, so I invest in stocks. And my dad put me on this app called Greenlight, and it allows you to buy fractional shares of a company.
Really? You, Brandon, how old are you?
9.
No way. You're 9 and you invest in stock?
Hmm.
Oh my goodness. Do you do just one? You just do one, right? Because you don't want to do too many. You just do one stock, like you just invest in one?
No, I have different stocks. I invested in Google, Apple, Chipotle, I have a gaming ETF, and the first thing I ever got was an ETF that has a bunch of. It has like Netflix, Apple, and Google. Does it have Google?
That's some yeah.
It has Google and a bunch of other things.
Wait, so okay, Pastor Chira is lost. So what's an ETF?
ETF.
What's that?
So my dad says it's like a basket of stocks. Like a ETF is like a thing you can. It's like a one. It's one. It's like it's one company, but it has a bunch of companies in it.
Wow. So you listen, you better than me. You know what you're talking about. So how do you like stock? Do you like investing? Like is it is it fun? Like what do you think? Tell me a little bit about it.
So when I invest, my it's on usually on Fridays when I get my allowance, and my dad asks me what stocks I want, and I I um I invest. My dad told me that I should invest in the companies when they're like going down because then I can get more of it.
Well, so you do this every Friday. Do you look forward to it?
Well, it's not every Friday; it's every other Friday.
When I
Oh.
get when I get paid, they get paid.
Oh, so you have a payday. You have a payday, Brandon?
Yeah,
So do you just get money just because, or are there things that you have to do in order to get your money?
yeah. I have to. I sweep the floor and I collect the bags from all the trash cans around the house.
So you have chores.
Mhm.
So then you get paid for doing your chores around the house.
Yeah.
So then when you get your money, do you just go ahead and spend it anywhere you want to, or what do you do with your money besides investing into stock? Is that all you do? All your money goes there?
No. So I get $20. I used to just put 10 in my savings and 10 in investing, but now I invest in a thing called Team Seas. Every dollar you donate, 1 pound of trash comes out the ocean. And I donate $2 to it every 2 weeks, and I put 9 in my savings and 9 in my investing.
Wow, so you're also helping the environment.
Mhm.
So you'd look for something that would help like the environment and make sure that we have a good place to live, huh?
Yeah.
And by the way, that was all his idea. Like he approached me with that. I didn't say, hey, you should, give to charity. Because when we were going into church, like we would have them put money in the basket because they can feel that, right? Go run the money
Right.
up to the basket. But I just feel like me cash apping it to the church on their behalf, they don't really feel it. So
Right.
I let it go for now. But this was something he came to me on, like, hey, I think I want to remove trash from the environment. So yeah.
I'm getting it out the house and now I want to get it out the environment. Wow. Brandon, you found how did you find this place in order to donate to?
Well, I was watching YouTube and I watched this person named Mr. Beast, and he donated millions of dollars to it because he wanted the trash to come out the ocean.
And so you wanted to help him out.
Mhm.
High five to you. Yo, that is awesome. I absolutely love it. So you're learning so much about finances and money and investing. Does it help you with making decisions with what you go out and buy and when you go to the store, and does what your dad teach you, does it help you?
Um, kind of, cause my dad says that if you see something that you like that that you want to buy, then save up for it.
Listen, you don't just take everything you have and waste it. We got to save for it, right? And make sure that we have something later so that we just don't spend everything and then don't have any left, have nothing left. We always got to have something left, right?
Mhm.
And you go to church too, don't you?
Mhm.
Do you? So your dad said, when you would go to church, you would put money and you could feel it. So are they teaching you about other things regarding giving and saving? Are there other things that you're learning?
Um. mm, mm, Not
I have
really.
something lines over
No, we don't do tithes and save tithes and offerings and things like that. You do that. I know you do.
My dad does that.
Okay.
Well, so the amount that the Team Seas thing he's doing, the charity, the amount I kind of helped him with the amount out of the allowance. I said, well, if we were giving this money to the church, it would be 10%, it would be tithe. So
Ah,
that's how we came up with $2 as the
there
amount
you
for what
go.
he was giving to the Team Seas. But we'll probably start once we go into church regularly, transferring at least some of that over to
Right.
tithing.
No, I love it. Listen, because he says bring it. He just says bring it. And so long as it's going to where it's going to help and it's going to have an impact. Listen, you guys are doing awesome. I'm in awe, Brandon, of everything that you know and all the stuff that you do and the investments that you're doing and how you're building yourself up. I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of you. Like that you're finding stuff on your own. I'm very proud of you. I really am.
Thank
I want
you.
to thank you. Thank you so much for being with us on the first part of the show and sharing with us a little bit about investing and finance and from your perspective, because it
Yeah.
matters, because you're the one who's going to lead us into the future. So thank you, Brandon.
You're welcome.
So we are going to go to a quick commercial break. And on the other side, Dad, we're going to talk to you because you're doing an excellent job. So we're going to dig in a little bit deeper about being a crypto daddy and teaching your children how to be wealth chasers. We will be right back.
Full Effect Churches Global Lines presents the 2022 Global Gathering Spring Conference, March 10th through March 12th. Powerful presentations from Prophet Mark Vereen, artist Shanna Ballou, Bishop Liston Page II, artist Anissa Fowler, Bishop Darrell Dove, workshop facilitator Christian Belton, the Youth Exposure by Chira and Rich Tolbert, Pastor Archie L. McInnes III, and presiding Bishop Archie L. McInnes II.
We are back, and we are back with Mr. Christopher Chase and Chase Wealth LLC. And we just had the opportunity to speak with your son, Brandon, who blew my mind. I just want you to know, like, he's amazing. You are doing a phenomenal job. Like, I was going to say amazing, and I mixed it with phenomenal. So you're doing a phenomenal job with all that
I'm
you're
awesome.
instilling into them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, how did you come up with this concept of having your children do stocks and investments?
Well, it just seemed kind of the natural thing to do because I was doing it myself. So I remember thinking, man, I wish I was doing this 10 years ago. I'm 45. Even if I started at 35, man, I would be close to being retired based on what I'm doing. So then, take it a step further, what if someone showed me these principles when I was just a kid? And now you have the tools with the smartphones and the apps. Like back in the 80s, 90s, you got to get a broker on the phone, broker the deal. It would take all this, it was all these barriers. It had to be a minimum of, 500 shares, whatever. Now you got all these apps. You could buy fractional shares. The tools are there, right? So it's like a no-brainer. I'm going to show
Right.
my kids what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and it was just kind of a natural thing. It was no master plan where I sat down was like, I'm going to do this. I just start pulling them in. We got to get out of this thing where I get out of grown folks' business. Me and your mom talk about the money. No, I pull them in. No, listen to what we're saying. Y'all
Right.
gonna need to know this. You know. So
So
that's
you
where it
take
started.
those moments where you and your wife are sitting having these conversations and you pull the children in and say, "Hey, this is what it looks like. This is what it is, and this is how we build, and this is how we build on what we have in order to have more and to do better."
Yes, and they need to know the difference of what's an asset, what's a liability. Like if you would have asked Brandon that a few minutes ago, like he would have told you. Like, and I teach them, look, an asset is anything that puts money in your pocket. A liability is anything that takes money out your pocket. And so we want to acquire assets and limit our liabilities.
Right. And teaching them that now at 9 helps
Yeah.
him as he grows, right? And he's like, no,
Mm-hmm.
I want this in my pocket. I don't want this, I don't want things that are taking things out of my pocket. So, I
Right.
mean, that was amazing. And I know you said that these are the conversations that you have with him all the time, and it's just the regular language in your house. How did you build that? Like, how did you build to have this to be the language in the house? Because is this the language that you grew up with in your home when you were growing up, or is this what you've developed as the way for your home? How did you build this language?
That's a good question. Growing up for me, it wasn't necessarily talk around finances, but business and entrepreneurship. Both of my parents are entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Um, I mean, my dad, he worked for, you know, same company for 30 years, but he also started a business, uh, cosmetic company because he was a chemist. So
Okay.
back in '88 when Coming to America came out and they said Soul Glow, well, he had a company called Flow and Glow. So, um,
Oh, wow.
and I lived in the mostly Jewish neighborhoods. I used to get teased like they used to say, "Oh, go Soul Glow," here's their Soul Glow. But anyway, that's a whole different story. Um, so no, I grew up hearing business concepts, entrepreneurship. So that wasn't, and they didn't water it down. So one thing I took from that was like I just speak plainly. I speak like I'm talking to you, like I'm talking to my accountant, like I'm talking to a financial planner. That's how I speak to Brandon. That's how I speak to Karen. Now I'll break it down a little bit, obviously, to so they'll understand what I'm saying, and then it'll get to the point where like you saw it, it'll just ETF will just roll off his mouth. Like, yeah, it's a basket
Right.
of stocks and blah, blah. So I just speak to him plainly,
And they understand. And that's how
and
we
they
got to
understand.
speak. We got to speak plainly, because that's how we learn. We don't use all these big words and all this mumbo jumbo. No, like, this is what it is. This is how it goes, and we just talk to them. And I think sometimes we make it difficult.
Yeah,
Parents, adults, we make it more difficult than what it is. So I applaud you for simpling it for us. And are you doing this for others? Is this just inside your home? Because I saw that you have Chase Wealth LLC. What is Chase Wealth LLC?
ChaseWealth LLC, that's my company. And basically, my passion is to make others financially literate, help others to be financially literate, because financial literacy is a powerful thing. I function by the Proverbs 13:22. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children.
Yes.
And there's a lot of things you have to put into place. It's not any one thing. There's a lot of things you got to put into place to make that happen. A lot of things. And it's not necessarily product, although, I'm appointed with a lot of carriers for life and annuities and things like that. But it's more about principle. It starts with principle. So and of course, that's my business, Chase Wealth LLC, and then I'm part of a community called Family Wealth Inc. And I say community on purpose, even though it's an organization, but it's a community organization. We're all used to this working in silos where everyone's kind of, fighting individually to stake their claim in this world. But, it's like if we work together and build together, it could go that much faster. So, my colleagues in Family Wealth, we all have kind of the same mission, financial literacy for all.
Okay. So for you, with Chase Wealth, how do you teach? Where do you teach? Who do you go out and show wealth to? Where do you teach your literacy at?
So I have the business side, which are my clients that um, usually they're from the family wealth community. We have
Okay.
a community there where it's not like we're calling people we don't know, right? It's like people that are already in our community that we're already educating, and then we pull them in and see what their needs are. That's on the business side. On the just teaching side, I'm active in my church. I lead the financial ministry in my church. So I'm currently co-teaching a course with the first lady. Um, D Free. It's actually Pastor DeForest. Sorry, it's a program he has, a national program. We're actually doing that with our church now, D Free program. But again, it's not about the product or the program. It's about whatever the thing is called. It's about getting that financial empowerment message out there and teaching people the basics and then layering it on top of that. Because this thing's got layers to it. The wealthy are they're operating on a whole nother level.
Right. And we have to learn that. Like, we have to learn. So, would you say that it's a mindset first? Would you
Yes,
say that?
it's
And
definitely a
how
mindset.
do we change that? How do we alter or lift the mindset of people to have a wealth mentality? What do you say?
That's a tough one, and that's our challenge, really. It starts with mindset, and most people don't have a wealth mindset. Wealthy people are wealthy, well, outside of the ones that have just been handed the wealth from generations. But if they've made themselves wealth, their first generation wealth, they've had to have a wealth mindset. I'm not talking about people that hit the lottery. I'm talking about people that have built something and became wealthy. There had to have been a wealth mindset first. And so information, Robert Kiyosaki. I'm not a big fan of his personally. He's one of Trump's buddies, but he wrote the Rich Dad Poor Dad series of books. He's got a book
Right.
called Cash Flow Quadrant. So really, I really like the book because it breaks down an individual. There's four different types of individuals. How they earn money. He goes the E, which is the employee. It's like a tic tac toe box, right? He goes E,
Uh-huh.
and then the S. S is the self employed. The B are the business owners, and the I is the investors. Most people flow between E and S, employees and self employed. Business and investors, that's a different mindset. The
Yeah.
employee mindset is you have to earn with blood, sweat, and tears every dime that you earn. Every dime
Yes.
that you make, you have to earn it with your bare hands. And that's just we got to break out of that because the wealthy there's only 24 hours in a day. The wealthy aren't wealthy because they worked. more than us. A lot of us got 2, 3, 4 gigs, right?
Right,
So they're
right.
not wealthy because they worked harder or worked more. They're wealthy because their money is working harder.
It is. And it's so important to have systems. Systems
Mm-hmm.
are key because if you work outside of the system, you don't have anything because the system has to work. So it happens because we put things in place in order to work off of one another. We're running out of time. I'm so upset. But can you tell, can you tell everyone how they can get in touch with you to learn some of these things and be a part of Chase Wealth and your family community?
Yes. You could go to www.familywealthtoday.com, and you check everything out, on the insurance side, on the investment side. If you want to reach me directly, my email is cchase@familywealthtoday.com. That's cchase@familywealthtoday.com.
Listen, Chris, I'm so excited. Thank you so much for taking this
I can't believe
time.
that's all the, can't believe that's all the time. That went so quick. There's so much more.
it,
I got so much
it
more to
goes
say.
quick. It does.
Oh, there's so much
But
more to
listen,
say.
let's bring you back. Let's bring you back so we can get all this information in because it's good information that we have to share with everyone. How about that? How's that sound?
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm
Sounds
reading this
good.
book right now. I'm reading this book right now. It's called "What Would the Rockefellers Do," and it shows how it compares the Vanderbilts versus the Rockefellers. After generations and generations, the Rockefellers still have billion-dollar heirs. Vanderbilt's not so much, and it's how they did it: wills and trust and cash value life insurance. Anyway, I'm done. That's it.
I told you we're gonna bring you back because we gotta talk about these things because we have to build wealth. You have
Mhm.
Chase Wealth, and we want to turn Chase Wealth into Wealth Chase. Yes, because we want wealth to chase us. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Chris, for joining me today on the Pastor Chira Show. Listen, you have got to be a part of Chase Wealth. You have got to be a part of a wealth community. You've got to be a part of it. Come on, join us. Change your mindset. Change those things that you've been doing. Stop chasing and start letting things chase you so that you can be the wealthy that you are destined to be. I'm Pastor Chira. This is the Pastor Chira Show, and we will see you next week. God bless.